Welcome, relatives, back to the Children's Fire Book Club. You are here with me, John, and then here with me is Odessa. And then just a little bit about me. I am a social worker, meaning that my role is to kind of help get you connected to services as needed. So, for example, if you need any extra assistance in any classes that you're struggling in, I can help connect you with someone to help you with that. And Odessa, would you like to explain a little bit more about your role?
Yes, thank you, John. Hello, relatives. My name is Odessa. I am a counseling intern at HIR Wellness. And when you think of counselor, you think of those like creating space and holding space to listen and to talk about thoughts and emotions and really being able to have that space to feel connected.
Yeah, and relatives, and the beauty of me as a social worker and Odessa as a counselor working together, it's kind of like a puzzle. You know, Odessa can kind of help with one piece, and I can help with one side. And then together we can complete the whole entire puzzle. So that's the beauty of working together.
Definitely.
And before we kind of get started, just take a moment, just kind of settle in. And then from there, grab something to drink, a tea, or a blanket, and then we can kind of begin.
All right. I have my water. I'm going to take a couple sips.
Yeah. And then relatives, what we'll be doing today is we'll start off with a movement card activity, and then we'll go into our book for today, and then we'll also follow up with a movement card activity, and then end with our grandfather teaching for today. And Odessa, would you like to show us our first movement card activity?
I would love to. So, our first movement card today is going to be Strong Storm. So, what you will do is you will sit comfortably together with your back straight. We're going to take a few deep breaths together. And when we do so, we're going to close our eyes. And as we exhale, we're going to say out loud, just like the storm, I am strong. And when we do this, we are going to keep breathing. And after every exhale, we're going to continue saying, just like the storm, I am strong. So we're going to do this together, relatives. Are you ready, John?
Yes.
All right, so remember, have our back straight. You can close your eyes if you want to. And as you breathe in, and then when you breathe out, I am strong, just like the storm. And we're going to keep breathing. And exhale, I am strong, just like the storm. And we're going to do a couple more breaths. So breathe in. And out. Just like the storm, I am strong. And we're going to do one more. Breathe in. Breathe out. Just like the storm, I am strong. We can open up our eyes, and I'm curious, relatives, how are you feeling after doing some deep breaths? John, how are you feeling?
Thank you so much, Odessa, for that exercise. I actually feel a lot more relaxed, and I love this affirmation that you're stating as we were doing our deep breathing. How did you feel?
Thank you, John. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. I felt even as I was breathing, my whole body calming down, my chest and my heart, and really allowing my mind and my body to go in and go out with the breaths. So that was beautiful. Thank you, John.
And now that we're done with our movement card activity, have you seen our book anywhere?
No, I thought you had our book.
No, I thought you had our book. Relatives, do you know where our book is?
We don't know where our book is. Ah, someone's at the door. Hi.
Hi.
Oh, we have Mariah here.
Hi, Odessa. Hi, relatives.
Hi, Maria.
I found a few books books laying around. I'm wondering if any of these are yours.
I hope so.
Yeah, I sure hope so.
I have The Hugging Tree.
No,
No,
that's
that's
not
not
a
it.
book.
Oh, okay. I have When You Are Brave.
No,
that's
I don't
not
think
it
that's
either.
it.
Okay. Well, hopefully this one's it. I have We Are Water Protectors.
No,
that's not it either.
Ah. Okay, one last book.
I
Ooh,
sure
I
hope
hope it's
so.
This
it.
one's it. It's called The Invisible Web.
That's
That's
it.
it.
Yay!
That's our
Great.
book.
Well, here you guys
Yes,
go.
thank you so
Bye,
much.
relatives.
Bye, Mariah.
And again, relatives, our book is The Invisible Web by Patrice Karst, and we will begin reading.
You guys ready?
All right, The Invisible Web by Patrice Karst. The very best news ever has begun to spread all over the world, one heart at a time. Shouted from the mountaintops, every single one of us is connected to those we love by invisible strings. That means Giovanna and her daddy are always together, even though he moved to a new house. Omar can feel the tugs of love from his parents, even though he is living far away at school. Mr. Chang still feels Mrs. Chang close by, even though she died such a very long time ago. And you, at this very moment, may feel the string of someone close to you, even though they aren't there. You can't see it, but it's real. Our strings reach to everyone we know. They travel far and wide, to families and friends, classmates and coaches, to bus drivers and babysitters, neighbors and pets, to aunts and uncles, and grandparents and grandchildren, and countless other people. And all of those people have hundreds of strings. Soaring high over rocky peaks and across the seven seas, deep into jungles and valleys, and winding through the busiest of cities, all these strings crisscross one another and create a nest that covers the planet, interlacing us together, cradling us forever. The invisible web. Wow, isn't that beautiful, relatives? The web has no borders and wraps every continent. Within it lives butterflies and flowers, starfish and seahorses, lions and ants, rivers and snowstorms, and all human beings. Giovanna, Omar, Mr. Chang, and of course, you and me, too. Some say it even reaches to our ancestors and those we cherish in the beyond. One tug on a string sends love to every one of us, woven together in this divine tapestry. And that means just one good deed travels across the entire web. Everything is linked. But sometimes folks forget. When they can't feel their strings, they forget about our invisible web. And that's when strings get tangled up Like when lonely Louisa isn't invited to sit with anyone at school, no, at her school at lunchtime. Or when sad Stefano wishes his friend Marcos wasn't so bossy when they played. Or when Mrs. Patel struggles at work without help and she just wants to quit. Even violence and war can erupt when too many of us forget the web. When strings are ignored, they can become weak and begin to unravel. But the more people who care for the web, the stronger it remains. The web feels like every parent since the beginning of time, holding and protecting each one of us in millions of gentle arms. What could be stronger than all of those hands holding us close? So many supportive fingers can always find a way to untangle strings so that love can flow again. But it's up to you, every one of us, to spread the word. Our time is right now. And as we tell our friends and family, sisters will remind brothers, who will write to cousins, who will call their grandparents, who will just nod and smile as if they've always known. If we remember the web and tug at it often, nobody will ever be left out. We will see others more clearly. The people of the world will look into each other's eyes and they will smile at one another. And when it comes to and when one of them cries, they will all want to help. And they do. Marcos apologizes to Stefano, who forgives his friend, and they have even more fun playing. Someone helps Mrs. Patel at work and tells her what a great job she's doing. She remembers that she's important and feels happy. And Louisa feels warm and bubbly inside when a few of the kids in class ask her to join them under the banyan tree for lunch. She knows right then that the invisible web is real. After school, Louisa cries with joy as she strokes her cat, who purrs the news to the stars, and the stars whisper the secret to the clouds, who share it with the songbirds, who serenade the world with this exquisite melody of love. At the start of each morning and all during the day, until, as the invisible web glitters in the magic of twilight, the owls take over and hoot the news throughout the night. The invisible web is alive. Its time is right now. It breathes as we breathe, pulsating all over our earth, the single heartbeat of life and love. And do you know what that makes all of us all? One very big family. Wow, relatives, can you see the big family? Everyone is the big family. And that's the end. The end.
All right, relatives. Thank you for reading that, John. That was such a good book.
Yeah, but what did you think about the book, Odessa?
I loved how it talked about how we're all connected and that when we make those connections, it can feel really good in our bodies. What about you, John?
Yeah, I definitely agree. I love how it talks about sometimes we forget about this invisible web and just helping us reflect back on that and just thinking about we are connected somehow. And I love how it ends with we are all a very big family. So we are family relatives.
Agreed. Relatives, what did you think of the book? Feel free to leave a comment.
Yeah. And then we can begin our second movement card activity. Odessa, would you like to show us our second?
I would love to. So, relatives, our next movement card is going to be toucan taps. So, for this exercise, you can sit or you can stand. You're going to breathe in deeply and then exhale. Then we're going to pretend our hands are like a toucan's beak. And as we breathe, we are going to find the space an inch below the collarbone, and we're going to tap, tap, tap against our skin. And as we tap, we're going to keep breathing. You guys ready? So, we're going to sit up straight, and we're going to be an inch below our collarbone. So it's going to be right here, and we're just going to go right along this line. So as you breathe in, and then out, and in, and out. And we're pretending like our hands are a toucan's beak. So breathing in and breathing out. We'll do a couple more breaths. Breathing in and breathing out. All right. Thank you for doing that with us, relatives. John, what did you think of the toucan taps?
I actually thought it was a really good exercise, and it really helps ground me into this moment and just really appreciate, just the exercise and really help me relax after reading this book. Thank you so much. What did you think about it?
Thank you, John. Yeah, I really like this exercise because it combines breathing while also touching our physical body. And that when we do that, it really helps connect it together in a way to help us relax. So breathing and then the tapping, we really allow our whole mind and body to calm down. I really enjoyed that exercise. Relatives, what did you think? So I think now we're going to transition to our grandfather teachings.
Yeah.
Awesome. You guys ready? So we are going to be talking about the 7 grandfather teachings. So the teachings in the Ojibwe culture have been traditionally passed down from generation to generation, orally through stories and ceremonies. Today, the oral traditions are being shared by those who carry the knowledge of such things. The teachings of all Aboriginal cultures encompass the morals, values, structures, ceremonial practices, spiritual beliefs of the group. These teachings also ensured the survival of the people. Despite where the teachings may have originated, they share the same concept of abiding by a moral respect for all living things. So for today, we are going to talk about the elder teaching of love. So the eagle represents love because he has the strength to carry all the teachings. The eagle has the ability to fly highest and closest to the Creator, and also has the sight to see all the ways of being from great distances. The eagle's teachings of love can be found in the core of all the teachings. Therefore, an eagle feather is considered the highest honor and a sacred gift. To know love is to know peace. View your inner self from the perspective of all teachings. This is to know love and to love yourself truly. then you will be at peace with yourself, the balance of life, all things, and also with the Creator. All right. John, what did you think of that elder teaching of love? How do you show love?
Yeah, I love, the elders teaching about love because it really helps you remember, how do you show love? And when I think about that, I show love by telling people who I care about that I love them and just thanking them for everything that they do for me. So that's how I show love. How do you show love, Odessa?
Thanks, John. I love that. I also show love. I show love by giving hugs to the people that I care about. I also show love by doing kind acts for people. So, for example, if my friend didn't do the dishes, I might help them and do the dishes because they're really exhausted. So sometimes I do kind acts for love as well. John, how did you see love within the book, The Invisible Web?
Yeah, I saw love in there throughout the entire book of just reminding yourself that, you are all connected. And I love how if you made a mistake or, you see that someone is lonely, just showing love and including them into your circle and having fun together, staying connected. How do you think love was shown?
Thanks, John. Yeah, I agree. I think throughout the book, you got to see people loving each other by talking with them, by helping them, by just hanging out and playing with them and respecting their voice. I think those are all great ways to show love. Relatives, how do you show love?
Yeah, relatives, let us know in the comment section.
Well, I think that about wraps up our time. Thank you, relatives, for being with us in this space, moving, reading, and learning. This is going to be our last Children's Fire of the season. Can you believe it? But we will be back. Thank you all for joining us and for being part of the space with us. We'll miss you.
Yeah.
Bye, relatives. Bye.